it's not relitigating. It's just a simple question. Did Donald Trump lose the 2020 election? I mean, that's an easy
Jim,
one.
why are we talking about 2020 anymore? Does the American people care about the 2020 election anymore, or do they care about being able to put food on their table, gas in their car, home heating oil?
I think one reason why it's coming up, Corey, is because the former president has said on the campaign trail repeatedly that there was all this widespread fraud in 2020. That was not the case. And he's also teeing up the same kinds of challenges after this election. It hasn't even happened yet. So it is a very relevant
Jim,
question.
we know there was fraud. There's no question there was some fraud that took place in the 2020 election. There's no question about that.
No widespread fraud.
It goes to show you the politics of the top of the administration, whether it's Mayorkas or it's Kamala or it's Joe Biden.
Yeah,
Donald
Corey,
Trump should have had additional resources.
What is this Kamala? It's Kamala Harris. Corey, you've been in this business a long time. I think you're a mature grown-up. It's Kamala Harris. Can you just say Kamala, or you cannot say Kamala?
Jim, can you admit 13,099 murders have come into the country? You say you haven't.
Well, Corey, I appreciate you coming on. Maybe we'll have you back.
Corey Lewandowski was brought back into the Trump fray over the summer when, after having fired him twice in the past, Trump decided he needed Lewandowski to help with his struggling presidential campaign. But others in Trump's inner circle weren't too happy about the decision. Lewandowski had ruffled internal feathers in the past over his clashes with Trump's children and senior advisors, and then the allegations against him that he had sexually harassed and stalked the wife of a big-time Republican donor.
It felt like he could just do whatever he wanted and get away with it.
Trishelle Odom says she didn't really know who Corey Lewandowski was when she met him at a fundraiser in Las Vegas in September of 2021.
He said, "I'm very powerful. I rule like politics, who goes in, who goes out. I'm the one that makes all those decisions."
A loyalist and dogged defender of the former president, Lewandowski is now back at candidate Trump's side as a senior advisor.
In 2016, when I ran the campaign, Donald Trump won. I'm here to help him win again, so that's my goal.
Lewandowski faced scrutiny during that 2016 campaign for his treatment of women after CCTV footage showed him grabbing a reporter's arm following a press conference. Then in 2017, a woman told police Lewandowski slapped her buttocks against her will and without her consent during a holiday party. She didn't press charges. 4 years later, Odom was seated next to Lewandowski at a charity dinner.
Did you feel like he was targeting you specifically that night?
100%. Yeah, he was targeting just me.
Despite the turmoil, Lewandowski takes credit for helping Trump win the presidency in 2016, even though the win was more of a technicality than it was a victory that a campaign chief should want to celebrate. Trump never won the popular vote, so unless gaming the Electoral College was Lewandowski's primary objective the whole time, he may have just gotten lucky. And despite all of the internal disagreements between Lewandowski and whoever, Trump always liked him and kept him close. Trump doesn't care that Lewandowski doesn't play well with Trump's children. Trump certainly doesn't care that Lewandowski allegedly sexually harasses women at fundraisers, so Trump keeps bringing him back. One longtime Trump ally had this to say about Trump's attachment to Lewandowski. He said he is Trump's comfort blanket, and he's like a cockroach. He never dies.
Corey Lewandowski, the previous campaign manager, suggested that what happened with Melania's speech suggests that it's amateur hour with the new campaign manager, Paul Manafort.
There's a reason Paul's in the position that he is today, and Corey's not. And it's not because Paul's amateur hour. It has nothing to do with that. I mean, listen, I understand. He's not here anymore. You want to try to maintain relevance. You want to be on TV. You want to do these things. I think at this point, that's not a service to the campaign.
Now it seems Lewandowski has found himself ousted from prominence yet again. Even after flying with Trump in his private jet to campaign stops as recently as last week, a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, a visit to the 9/11 memorial in New York, and the presidential debate in Philadelphia, just to name a few, rumors that he has been relegated to taking a more backseat role in the campaign have come out from members of the campaign. According to reporting from The Guardian, Lewandowski's plans to essentially stage a coup within the Trump campaign and take over leadership were defeated. When he was reinstated as a senior advisor with the campaign over the summer, Lewandowski was not subtle about his ambitions to essentially resume his 2016 role as campaign chief. The campaign is currently being run by co-chiefs Susie Wiles and Chris LaCivita. One Trump official said of Lewandowski's attempted takeover, "He blew himself up. The entire staff has been working together for 2 years. You think you're going to come in at the end and throw your weight around? A bit misguided. So what's happening with Lewandowski now? Well, he's got a home in New Hampshire, so rumor has it that he has been sent there to help flip the state for Trump. New Hampshire has gone to Democrats for the past 20 years, but Trump only lost the state by 0.3 points in 2016. It seems like it would be perfectly flippable, apart from the fact that Kamala Harris is currently up by nearly 7 points in New Hampshire. However, before Biden dropped out of the race, Trump held a 2-point lead. Lewandowski maintains that he plans to continue traveling with Trump and making campaign appearances with him between now and Election Day. As for his official role, Lewandowski says he's just a volunteer. In regards to his reassignment from campaign advisor to New Hampshire surrogate, he told The Guardian, "I'm proud to volunteer my time to do everything possible to help Donald J. Trump win this election and make America great again." He told the Daily Beast, "I'm a volunteer on the campaign. I continue to be a volunteer. I don't want to be paid. I just want to see Donald Trump win." And in what was taken as a nod to La Vida, he said, "This may not be the best way for staff to treat volunteers." Once Lewandowski was brought onto the campaign in the wake of the Democratic ticket shakeup, he began secretly auditing the campaign's finances, going directly against La Vida. He had established a flex office for himself at Trump's campaign headquarters in Palm Beach, Florida, and his audit investigated $80 million campaign dollars that supposedly was put towards TV ads. Lewandowski questioned the possibility that that money actually went towards commissions through a company affiliated with La Vida. Whether or not Lewandowski had just cause for the secret audit, we don't really know what came of it. You can understand why certain members of the Trump inner circle didn't want this guy around. According to one Trump ally, Corey was trying to kamikaze into CRIES. In the coming weeks, we will see either quite a bit of Corey Lewandowski or not very much at all. And we'll see if his efforts in New Hampshire were worth anything. Will he be able to help Trump recover a nearly 7-point deficit between now and Election Day? Seems like a tall order, especially from someone who isn't even likable amongst people who like Trump, and that's saying something. Lewandowski was previously let go from the campaign after calls that Trump toned down the racist and the xenophobic rhetoric were ignored and advised against. It didn't bode well for Trump. Now it seems that Lewandowski has been advising Trump in a similar fashion to stick with the race baiting and the misogyny, etc., etc. Last month, Lewandowski said it plainly on Fox News, "We just don't have time for political correctness. We literally have a woman and an administration that is destroying this country." Oh no, not a woman. With stories like this one, though, there is an attractive inclination to point to the seemingly more sensible people in the room surrounding Trump, and it's tempting for his supporters to think that at least there are sensible people advising Trump and guiding him along a more sensible path. But it shouldn't be that way. He's an adult. He shouldn't have to be wrangled in this way. He's running for the presidency and he can't even manage his own thoughts. And Lewandowski, for all of his faults, was brought back into the campaign repeatedly by Trump himself, not by his advisors. He's there because Trump likes him and wants him there. Trump thinks Lewandowski is a good guy for him to be associated with. And the so-called sensible people in the room who support Trump despite all of the terrible things that fly out of his mouth are supporting Trump despite all of the terrible things that fly out of his mouth, things that he truly believes. By censoring his rhetoric as a means of campaign strategy, they're censoring the real Trump, and the real Trump is ugly. And it's also a catch-22 because the primary reason why people like and support Trump is because he's somehow convinced his base that he is a real, authentic person. What you see is what you get simply because he hasn't been a career politician until at least 10 years ago. And no, maybe he hasn't been, but he was a career celebrity and attention monger. People who are famously genuine all the time, right? All right, that's it for me. If you got anything out of this, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks.